Hey kids, it's the Mr. Fly here, hope you're well. Now, very excited today because I'm on another KTM, and this is the 2017 Super Duke R, the bike that last year when it came out in 2016 they called it the Beast. Now they've done some upgrades to it, they've made it even more frightening looking, so if it was a beast then I don't know what it makes it now, an absolute monster, but 1.3 litres of naked fun. So stick around, stay tuned, and I'll tell you what I think of the bike. Well, first impressions are, as you'd expect, this bike has got one hell of a lot of go. An amazing bit of kit, and it's a really beautiful bike to ride actually. It feels very narrow and very comfortable. You're sort of canted a bit forward, your knees are in a fairly sporty position, and it's got this absolutely top-notch display here, one of these TFT full colour displays. Why don't all bike manufacturers just stick these on now? Because let's face it, they must be quite cheap to make. You can get sort of iPad-alike things from China for about 100 quid, so it can't cost a lot of money to get one of those made to put on your bike. Looks absolutely brilliant, got loads of modes. Oh, there's a street triple, nice. And I think it looks absolutely fabulous, so really looking forward to riding this bike for the next hour or so. So stick around, stay tuned, and I'll hopefully find some twisty roads to give her a little try on. Now, as much as I love the Triumph Street Triple, I don't fancy the chances of that against this. Unbelievably, the engine in here is more than twice the size of that 675. Unbelievable. Sounds very throaty, this KTM. It's got an Acura aftermarket end can on it, which makes it sound wonderful. Balance of the bike is just beautiful around town here. Riding slowly on it, not an issue at all. From a practical point of view, the mirrors work an absolute treat. They're nice and stable, no vibration, really good view behind. Well, I've been on the thing 5 minutes and I already know I absolutely love this bike. Right, I need to lose white band, man, as soon as possible. Wow, what a machine. I challenge anybody to jump on one of these and not immediately think it's a fabulous bit of kit. Right, so let's get the practical stuff out of the way. From a comfort point of view, riding position is lovely. You're canted forward slightly, but there's really not much weight on your wrists or arms. It's and that's more than counteracted once you get moving by the sort of the wind blast lifting you up, because of course it's a naked bike. The seat itself, I was going to say it's nice and comfortable. It's shaped nicely, but it's very hard. I don't think I've been on a KTM yet that doesn't have a hard seat. But that's not to say that it's uncomfortable actually. I'll know when I've been riding it a bit longer. Height wise, I can get my feet on the deck. I'm only a shortish chap at 5'8", but the balls of my feet are on the floor. I'm not flat footed, but it doesn't feel like I'm going to drop it. It's quite a light bike, so that's not an issue. But physically it's quite small. Damn, I need to get past this. Ooh, a little smiley man off the speed thing. Good. I love the noise of this bike. Don't know if you can hear it just bouncing off the walls. Looks like a lovely low thrum from the big twin. Suspension on it makes the handling lovely. It's firm, let's say. Great just to squirt by things like that. So make sure we're not breaking any speed limits, which is the problem with this sort of bike. You've got to be on it all the time to make sure you're not going at stupid speeds. It's very easy to do so. Okay, nothing behind me, coming up to an unrestricted bit, it's all clear. I mean, these bikes these days are so good, these nakeds. I mean, there really is no need to have a sports bike. I love sports bikes as much as the next man. I think they look lovely. But in terms of performance, there is nothing between this and a sports bike these days. The handling is just lovely on it. So just while I'm stuck behind yet another white van, just a chance to have a look at some of these controls. So I think KTM have done a really good job of improving the controls on this bike this year. I mean, they're laid out pretty logically. This has the keyless start, which is quite interesting over this side. I've obviously got the keyless fob in my pocket. I'm always a bit unsure about keyless ignition, whether it's sort of a solution that really didn't really have a problem. But anyway, it's got keyless start on this particular machine. The screen we've already talked about, which is absolutely clear, lovely. I absolutely love the TFT screen. And then on this side, we've got the KTM controlling buttons, which are very easy to use, straightforward and logical. And I'm really pleased to see they put the cruise control on the left-hand controller this time, which just makes so much more sense when you're trying to, you know, set the throttle in a position. You don't want to be doing that with your right hand like you do on some bikes. So that's great. So, and the switchgear feels really good quality as well. So really nice on the switchgear, and just the general fit and finish, just looking at the tops of the forks, the machining is lovely. It just feels like a really quality bike. Okay, nothing behind, got enough space. White van, easily dispatched. This is just a joyous motorcycle. If you want to go out for a Sunday blast around B roads and so on, absolutely gorgeous. And because of the upright riding position, you could sit on this for hours. You could do some touring on this, provided you can get what you need in your rucksack. Right, I'm in uncharted waters now. I don't really know where I am, and I don't have a sat nav, so I hope I don't get lost. But this bike is such a hoot, it needs to be ridden. Ah, boo, coming back into a 40. Okay, fair enough. Lovely scenery around here, must go up this way more often. Right, I really must find somewhere to stop and show you around this bike, because I think this bike really looks something special. This looks like a likely space. Don't upset the postman. Wow, what a beast. Right, neutral. Come on, you don't want to go to neutral, you know you want, there we go. Right, and to stop her, that one. And then I think to turn her off, that one. There we go, she's off. Right, let's have a look at this. Now look at that thing, look at the haunches on that. Once again, it's got the prancing, well, I said rhinoceros before, certainly not a rhinoceros. Let's go for panther. And the rumour is that KTM have designed this to actually look frightening this time, and I think they've succeeded. But anyway, let me get my iPhone out and I'll give you a proper look around this beast. So, here she is then, the KTM Super Duke R for 2017, absolute beast of a bike. They're quite right to describe it as that. 177 HP V-twin, 1301cc engine, absolutely incredible. I've had cars with smaller engines than that. And the engine itself actually is a bit of an engineering masterpiece. It's what they call the LC8 engine, and it's one of the lightest big V-twins that you can get hold of. In fact, the engine itself weighs just 62 kilograms, which is amazing, isn't it, for a 1.3? Amazing. 141 newton meters of torque at 7,000 RPM, and blimey, does it feel like it. You've got this amazing front light that KTM are putting on the bikes this year, which again just makes the thing look a bit more intimidating. I think it makes it look like a sort of a wasp or something, and when she's running, it has a great running light in there as well. Dry weight of the bike, 195 kilograms. Feels actually lighter than that, feels very, very light. Seat is 835 millimeters, so quite tall, but I can get my feet on the deck, no problems. Doesn't feel intimidating in that respect. Fuel tank takes 18 litres, which isn't too big, but it's enough. Electronics wise, of course, it's got all the riding modes and stuff. This one's also got the cornering ABS, the Bosch system, and also what they call corner entry traction control. Not quite sure what that means or does, but it sounds impressive. It's got the slipper clutch as well, so it means you can sort of abuse the bike if you want to, and the back end stays under control. Or let's just show you the acrylic end can that's on here. Just sounds really nice here. And then braking wise, it's got the best brakes in the business as far as I'm concerned. Brembo M50 calipers, there we go. Do a great job of stopping this beast. And the general sort of fit and finish of the bike, I think it's really, really nice. Comes in a couple of colour schemes, I think. This is the all black, which I prefer. I think it comes in a sort of a grey version as well with white bits. I know there's a black and white one with orange frame, that's right. And then this is the sort of black and grey variant, which is just a bit more subtle, I think. Did I mention that it's got a slipper clutch? I think I did. It's got an optional up and down quick shifter. And of course it's Euro 4 compliant. And if you want to buy one of these, it's going to cost you £1 less than £14,000. So, you know, that is a lot of money for a motorcycle, isn't it? But this is a lot of motorcycle. Now, some of the KTMs, you know, they split opinion, don't they, on the looks, but this thing I think just looks right. It looks mean, it looks aggressive, and I think that front light is fantastic. Again, splits opinion, but I think looks really good on this machine. Alright, enough gazing, staring and enjoying. Let's jump back on then and hopefully see if we can find our way back to the dealer. Right, let's see if I can get this keyless start game sorted then. So we press this to bring it alive. There we go. Coming alive. Excellent, we're in neutral, and then give that a press. That way even. There we go. Seemed easy enough. Talking of the dealer, I must put out huge thanks to the guys at the KTM Centre in Hemel Hempstead for letting me ride this bike again. Just an amazing machine, and really appreciate their help in letting me ride some of these great bits of kit that are coming out these days. I suspect there's some great riding around here. Sadly, I just don't know where I am, so I better head back the way I came. So this is the fourth KTM I've ridden now, and without a doubt it's my favourite. I did like the Super Duke GT, I must admit, that was a nice bike. But I think this one has it on looks for me. I like the practicality of the GT. But if you're going to go for a stonking, powerful, fun bike, then I think this would be the one for me. Okay, let's just see if we can change the riding mode then. In the riding mode screen. Click on set. Bring the clutch in. Doesn't want to do it, okay. Let's press set again. Close the throttle. There we go, right, I'm in sport mode now. I'm famously not very good with riding modes in terms of spotting the difference, but some bikes are better than others for sure. Okay. De-restricted as far as speed limit's concerned. Oh yeah, even in top gear she wants to pull. Let's just try these brakes. Even the back brake's pretty good. Alright, let's slow right down a bit. Let that car get away from us. Wow! The front wheel just lifts off about an inch off the deck. And that's quite enough for me, thank you. Yes, okay, this is a bike where the riding modes do make a difference. Sport mode is definitely sporty. On a track, this thing would be amazing. So light round these roundabouts. Lovely feeling. And again, it's one of those bikes that you sort of instantly gel with. You feel at home on it very quickly, even though it's got awesome power and you know, the potential to be a bit frightening. It's not frightening at all. You can ride it how you like. Slow speed around town and stuff. Very, very easy. Doesn't complain. It's not like, you know, an old Ducati used to be where you had to sort of fight it through town or whatever, and it only was really happy on track or at high speed. You can ride these things at any speed and they're absolutely fine. Okay, let's coming up here to another little bit of fun. Okay, we'll call that enough. Really nice. There's some very interesting country smells out here today. I'm sure they're very good for me. Oh, it's like slaloming down the Eiger on a black run. Love it. Right, I think we need to say cheerio to the Yaris at the earliest possible opportunity. Here we go. I don't think there's going to be too much on the road that's going to give you a problem in terms of overtakes. Well, this bike is just so much fun. to summarise then, the big KTM Super Duke 1290R. What an amazing machine. No surprises to say that I absolutely love this machine. Money no object. I'd have one tomorrow. Really like this. Superb. It's basically a sports bike in naked clothing, or no clothing. Does that make sense? I don't know. Actually, something I didn't mention is the wind blast. It seems absolutely fine. I have no problem with riding naked bikes, but there's no, you know, there's no problem with the wind blast whatsoever. It's nice, and you know, there's no turbulence coming at you. There's quite a bit of protection actually from this sort of largish frontal area. So weather protection wise for a naked is absolutely fine. But yeah, I've really enjoyed riding this bike. It's comfortable, it's super fast. I mean, that goes without saying. Power and speed is all here. I love the display, I love the way the controls work. It feels tight, it's light, it's nimble, it's pretty comfortable, it has to be said. I mentioned at the start the seat was quite hard, but actually it's sculpted and it's quite comfortable. The engine is lovely, there's no vibes through your hands or anything. It's practical too, the mirrors work nicely, you're not going to get a backache. There's no vibes, it's tractable, the slipper clutch is just amazing. You can do all sorts of stuff with this engine in terms of banging down at inappropriate speeds, and it just all stays in control. I really like this bike. So if you're in the market for a super naked, then I urge you, please go and try a KTM Super Duke R, a lovely bike. Okay, I hope that's been of some interest to you, and I look forward to speaking to you next time. Until then, this has been the Mr. and Fly. Cheerio. This bike is so good. It's just, now it's a word I seldom use, but this bike is properly awesome. I'll see what all the fuss was about in the press when it came out. What an amazing bit of kit. I'll tell you, if you just want one bike for fun, get this bike. You don't need to ride anything else or make a choice on anything else. This is the bike to have. Now thinking, shall I chop in my Panigale Hammer Street triple and get one of these? Oh, how could I have such a thought?